What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Knowing is Knowing podcast. I am your host, Rashad Young, and as always, I appreciate you all tuning in. Brand new episode for you all today. This is episode 3. Super excited, man. You know, you might be wondering if you're watching this on YouTube why I got a hoodie on. You may not care at all, but it's still a little chilly up in Chicago. Still getting used to the weather and all that good stuff, but really do appreciate you all taking the time. If you listen to this on your favorite audio platform, make sure to subscribe to it. Rate it, review it, press the notification bell. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. I'm trying to stay consistent on both, man. Consistency, that's all that matters. But I do appreciate it. I really do. And with this episode, I really feel like it's important to touch on something that has been sitting in my mind and heart for the past couple, I won't even say days, weeks. It's been years. And I think that's kind of the beauty of what life kind of presents itself with, is with these opportunities for us to learn, grow, and to share different things. And, this new series that I would like to call, with this new podcast and this new series already, first series I guess I want to discuss are 5 things. Yes, 5 things that I have learned in my 20s. Now, the overall arching theme of this obviously is to express things that I've learned. It isn't to necessarily go into depth with certain experiences that may involve multiple people, but it's just strictly to express things that I've learned with self, whether it is through good times, bad times, ugly times, amazing times, and hopefully you can get some clarity or understanding maybe in your own position. Maybe you're going through something like this. Maybe you experience something like this. Maybe you're in your newfound stage in your 20s where you're trying to figure out what this looks like. Hopefully this could be some sort of guide for you, and that's something that I feel like is important for us to do, is always constantly share information. So take it as it is. But this first one, I think I want to start off with something real, something raw, something relevant, because it's just a fact that I think we all need to embrace, and that is everybody does not care about your dreams. I know. Let's sit in with it for a minute and digest it, understand it. Not everybody cares about your dreams. Most of your friends probably won't support your dreams as you will support your own. And that is totally okay. It isn't here to bash friends or to bash your family members or to bash people who you have told your dreams about and they haven't said anything positive. It's just the truth. When it comes to your dreams, your passions, your goals, it is solely yours. And to sit around and try to find ways to convince other people, whether they're close to you or not, is honestly a waste of time. Now, when it comes to the idea of dreams and aspirations, we can kind of go back to our childhood and understand that that's kind of been a focal point of everything. As a kid, your imagination was everything. From watching cartoons, to video games, to sports, to look at things outside. Our imagination created this world in our minds to become anything that we want it to be. Then unfortunately society kind of alters us and alienates us and boxes us into limiting those dreams. But then for some odd reason, when we get in our 20s, and I do not understand why, and I would love to meet a psychologist or somebody who can explain this better, we kind of get into this defiant, childlike stage again, where we are trying a bunch of things and we're trying to figure things out because the constant standard societal structure isn't what we want to do. From people wanting to be entrepreneurs, to be content creators, to being streamers, to doing businesses, whatever. It is something about our 20s typically where we try a bunch of stuff, we throw it at the wall, and we try to figure it out. The problem is, though, is that we now have this newfound idea of self, what is important to us, and how do we become successful in our own right, and what we think or the things that we consume, and hearing just different pieces of information, advice from different people, maybe our age, a little bit over or whatever, and we want to take all that information, ball it up, and then share it to people closest to us, right? And typically what happens is that most people around you will either tell you it's a great idea and they may support it, or they will tell you it's a terrible idea, or they won't understand why. And so we then take that and we get frustrated and we want to prove to them that we can do it, because there's a truth that doubt fuels everything. For some of us like to have that chip on our shoulders. For me personally, I am that way. I feel like if you doubt me, I take it personal, not in the sense of what you said, but I take it personal to put that anger, that resentment, that feeling of being misunderstood, and try to put all my best effort into making this work. Not to necessarily prove it to you, but to prove it to myself. Having that doubt fuels me. But at the same light, when I really take a time to unpack and take a deeper dive, it really is a truth that I want to be accepted with my ideas and goals, similar to some of us that I've seen on Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat. People still use Snapchat? I think they do. I don't, but I've seen it. And we want people closest to us to support our dreams and our businesses. And there's a truth that, yes, if you have friends in your circle, they should support you no matter what. That's my honest opinion. But there's also a truth that we all live in our own world, and not everything that we do is going to relate to the people closest to us. In fact, most of the people closest to us aren't necessarily even our target audience, because at the end of the day, and I get it, I really do, we can take our favorite artists, our favorite clothing brands, our favorite athletes, and we will spend thousands of dollars on them. It is some weird psychology, which I don't understand, that we will support people that we don't know versus people that we do. But however, I'm sure just like them, they had people around them that did not believe in them. And they learned at some point, they blocked it out, that the people around them were not their target audience. The target audience could have been the world. The target audience could have been a different country. It doesn't matter. The target audience wasn't the people around them. They maybe took that fuel and that doubt and they put it into themselves and they elevated. And we have to take that same mentality with the people around us. Our dreams are not going to be achieved because of people around us and what they think. It's just the truth. There was something I had to accept about 3 years ago when I was 25, was that I have my own ideals in the world. There's certain things I think are important to me my way, and I'm going to figure it out in the way that works best for me. The more I sit around and try to convince people who may not necessarily understand, the less impact I'm making for the people who may understand. Because the people around me are my target audience. Sometimes people say things solely because of fear, or maybe because they've experienced the same thing and they don't want it to happen to you. Or third, they just simply don't understand. And they may never understand, and they won't take the time to understand. And that's okay. Because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Because again, your dream, your passion, your goal, that is for you. That is it. The moment you block out people's thoughts and doubts and concepts of what you should do, the more successful you become, in my mind. And to the people around us, they will probably say the same thing. You have to have a tunnel vision when it comes to going after stuff, man. You do. Because people are going to always have something to say. People are always going to tell you your idea is crazy. People are always going to tell you they don't understand why you're doing the things that you're doing. And it's not for them to understand. It's not for anybody to understand. But if it makes sense to you and it works for you, man, do it. Let it roll. Figure it out. Because at the end of the day, we are our own artists in our own story of this life. We don't have a lot of control around the life of what we experience. We don't have a control of when we're going to leave this earth. We don't have a control of how people are going to necessarily treat us. We can only control our responses to these things. So same thing with your dreams, your passions, your goals. We can only control what we can put our energy into. We cannot control how many people are going to like our stuff, share our stuff, repost our stuff, because at the end of the day, people live in our own world. And truth be told, I'm going to go back to saying this, in our own minds, we feel like our story is the only story. We are not as important as we think. Does not mean that our dreams don't have any influence or impact. It's just most people just don't care. They don't. It's the harshest truth I learned. But once I accepted that, I've made my life so much easier, so much at peace. I don't get upset when my friends don't do certain things. I see somebody do something, I'm always going to share it. I'm always going to show love because I am that type of person. But I don't have the same expectation of people doing it back, because that's not what my mind is focused on. If I see somebody doing something, I'm going to do it because I will want somebody to do it for me. But I don't hold that expectation, because it doesn't matter. Because at some point, somebody is going to find my stuff relatable, and that's going to be the person that shares it. Show love, whatever. Because again, my target audience is bigger than the people I know. It's bigger than my circle. And I hope that's the same thing for you as far as your dreams and your goals. Whatever it is you're trying to do, it doesn't necessarily have to lead to like making millions of dollars. It's just whatever you can do to make yourself happy. Everybody's not going to understand. And it's not for everybody to understand. Point blank. That's all I gotta say, man. That's it. Quick episode. In and out, man. You could have been in traffic at the gym, but just to put something in your mind, man, it's all about how you view this. It's all about how you block things out and you stay focused on what's important to you. You attack it, and you go achieve it. As always, make sure to subscribe to this on your favorite audio platform. Make sure you check me out on YouTube. Love all the love and support. If you have been supporting, if not, I'm thanking you all in the future that will. Appreciate y'all so much. Stay blessed. Until next time, peace.